It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielsen, Matt Cassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gate.
The 1st of December, another Christmas season, 'tis be upon us. Nielsen, Cass, and Gager with you once again, back with another episode of Two Guys and a Goalie, brought to you by our wonderful partners over at CoolBet. If you want to bet on the Oilers and the Wild tonight, best place to do it, coolbet.com. And if you're not yet signed up for an account, use the code 2GUYS, the number 2 in the word guys. Sign up. 100% deposit bonus on whatever you deposit the first time, up to $200. Boys, I know it's December, busy month, should be feeling good about Christmas with kids and everything. But without a new episode of Andor here in a little while, my life's taken a hit, boys. I didn't realize how excited I was each week for a new episode of Andor.
Yeah. I feel you. Like I was watching hockey yesterday, so I didn't feel it as much yesterday, and I'm going to be watching hockey today, so I'm not going to feel it as much today. But I tell you what, Friday night, tomorrow night, which would be probably the night if there was a new episode that I was going to watch it, I'm going to be feeling that a little. I'm going to be like, yeah, man, like it was such an enjoyable, like even the setup episodes, even the slower episodes were still just so awesome. So it's just like, oh man, there's just nothing out there now that's close to that.
Yeah, I don't even have anything to watch right now. I'm watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is funny. I've never seen it before. It's hilarious.
It's a great show.
But those people are assholes.
Oh yeah, they're all horrible. Yeah, it's a show full of villains. Like you have to realize, it's like it's a show full of villains. Now they can become sympathetic villains in some way, but it's like they're just horrible people, and that's what makes it somewhat easy to watch it at times. Is because you're like, I'm not nearly as horrible as these people are, so I kind of feel okay about myself.
They do make you feel really good about yourself. That's true. Gager, what are you keeping busy with now, buddy?
Oh gosh, not much. Well, what did I try to watch? Actually, on Prime there's that Peripheral.
I saw an ad for that the other day. Yeah,
I watched the first episode, and it's kind of
sci-fi.
Neat.
Yeah, my dad's buddy, he's got I don't know if Jimmy B, we call him Jimmy B, but one of my dad's good buddies. He's
sounds
big,
like a gangster, a mobster.
Yeah, Jimmy B's
Jimmy
always
B.
He's big into like shows and movies and stuff. And so my dad hasn't watched it yet, or him and my mom watched the first episode. My mom, she doesn't really like sci-fi. I think she was kind of weirded out by it, but my dad said the first episode of that show, Gager, was really good.
It was really good.
He really liked it. So he told us to check that out. That one is on my list.
Gager, is there any time travel involved or what? Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to give this thing a go then. Yeah, that excites me.
It is, yeah. Well, I'm not precisely sure, but I think if after watching the first, I would have to say yes, there is.
Okay.
But I'm not positive.
Not sure. Maybe. Could be.
Yeah. All right. I heard good reviews of that Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds
it's fantastic
movie too. Yeah, you saw it? Yeah. Was that you? Was that you that texted us? It says
Yeah. I started watching it, so I haven't finished yet. But I did because my wife fell asleep, so I changed it because she always falls asleep at that stuff. That was the other day, but Gager. So you loved it through and through the whole way.
I don't understand how, Cass, being the person that I am, and I hate musicals, but I at certain points my face hurts. And I'm like, oh, it's because I'm smiling. Like I just, and I don't know what it is. It's maybe my mother. The conditioning I went through as a child at Christmas, having to watch a Christmas Carol, but I love a Christmas Carol. So, and any sort of twist on a Christmas Carol, I find intriguing and cool. So, and there's some good jokes in there and stuff. I'm sure if you guys watch it, we'll say some things. But I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. Like they're and I know it's a musical. There's singing in there, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was a great show. Oh God, what's wrong with me?
Well, 'tis the
season. I'm a nerd though. I like musicals. So I mean, I like musicals.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but I watched Hamilton. I thought that was fantastic too. So
I never watched that, but when we went to Broadway in New York to watch baseball, we ended up going and watching more musicals than I thought I would love. And it was my choice. I was like, yes, I'd rather go see Jersey Boys than the Yankees again. So, they win you over, man. It's just like that. All right, Oilers and Hawks. Let's go there last night. Chicago's a horrible hockey team. They've won 6 of 22 games. They've now lost 8 in a row. Oilers peppered them like they carried the pace of that game. So Cass, the win is a win. They've won 3 in a row. They've all been in sort of very interesting fashion. But with the way that you let Chicago kind of fight back into it and stuff, I can feel like a little bit of an empty feeling coming out of that one. What'd you take away from that game last night?
Yeah, a little bit of an empty feeling. Really, if the Oilers would have bear down on half of their chances in the first 2 periods, I mean, the game's 6 or 7-0 heading into the third, at least. I mean, they really dominated the play. They controlled the play. How many posts? They have like 6 posts in the game, or 5 posts in the game where they had opportunities. So it's unfortunate that they let Chicago back in it, and Chicago felt a little bit of life. And really, the only time Chicago got anything, it was the same sort of mistakes that have got them into trouble before. Turnovers at their own blue line, just inside the blue line,
in front of their own net.
In front of their own net, like those 2 issues were the big challenges. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's empty, Dusty, because you still won 3 in a row, and that's still a positive thing. What I think is okay is we don't have a whole bunch of time before another game. Like they don't have to sit in that not positivity or like kind of blah, like, okay, it was sort of a good win or it was an okay win, because you're right back at it again. So, you still got the win. You have to be satisfied with that, and you just move on.
Gager, overall, how do you summarize that game?
I'm going to say a missed opportunity.
Okay.
And my reasoning being is when you look at the next month, it is jammed. And the fact that the Oilers had an opportunity at 4-1 to really roll the lines and just grind the Blackhawks to dust, the game started slipping away from them, and you saw the minutes pile up for the big dogs, and now they have to go into a very tough building with some of their guys probably playing a little bit more than Woodcroft would have liked. So, and when you look at the rest of the month here, and the amount of injuries, this is going to be a very difficult month, and where you would like to see just minutes evenly distributed through all 4 lines or 3.5 lines, if possible, because just the amount of games that they're playing and not having to use your key players too much in a game that you should have just been able to walk right through.
Darnell Nurse played almost 30 minutes. CC played 25. Hyman was like 24. McDavid was 27. Draisaitl was 26. Cass, do you feel like it was necessary for those guys to play that much last night because of the way the roster's constructed right now, or was it a little bit too much? Like Puljujarvi played 12 minutes. Janmark played 14. Nuge was in the box for a bunch of the time. He only played 14. And then the fourth line guys played like 6-7 minutes. I mean, are those guys simply not capable of playing anymore? And that's why you had to heap 27 minutes on McDavid in the first half of a back-to-back to beat the worst team in the league?
I think the challenge in it was you're playing on the road, so you don't get line matchups, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. And Chicago was pretty evident with what they wanted to do with their top line. And I think that caused the challenge in that you were trying to, I don't want to say you're just trying to protect those guys, but you knew McDavid and Draisaitl were going to play more going into this game. You just knew it. And statistically, long term, if there was a game, Dusty, you needed to win between these two, you have to win. Have to get this one. And so you're like, okay, if there's one where we're going to give a little bit more rein to our younger guys and to the rest of the lineup, I do look to Minnesota before I looked at the Chicago game, because Chicago was, one of the worst teams in the league. They're on a horrible losing streak right now. It was an absolute must win. We have to win this game. So you went with a little bit more certainty, and now, tonight, not that you're happy with the road trip if you lose this game, but you're not as worried because you won the win yesterday.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it. I mean, I don't like their chances tonight. Quick turnaround, guys play. Although I will throw this out there, Gager, do you think? And you guys played, so you get it. I mean, I think it might be different for us in the media, but do you think we make too much of ice time? Like, these are professional, elite athletes in phenomenal shape. I don't know if there's a huge difference between 23 and 27 minutes, maybe in the second half of a back-to-back. So I'm going to throw that out to you guys, because sometimes
There's
I
a
feel like
massive
I'm
difference.
nitpicking on it too much. But
Nope.
okay,
Massive,
so that's a legit conversation.
Yeah, if you're talking like 1 or 2 minutes a night, I'd go okay. Like if you're talking like the difference between 17 and 15, like okay, or even 15 and 13, okay. But when you start to get to that difference between like 24, especially as a forward, like 24 and 17 or 24 and 14, that starts adding up. I mean, it's a lot of extra bumps, it's a lot of extra bruises, it's a lot of extra impacts, a lot of extra strides on your hips and your groin, on your body, a lot of extra repetition. It does add up over the short term. Is it sustainable? For sure. Of course it is over the short term. I mean, these guys are in good shape. May they have a little bit more heavy legs today? Well, maybe. It wasn't a long travel day. But yeah, it more is the over the course of the whole season, if you have to do it way too often, will their bodies have the gas they need to get through the playoffs? That's the big question to me, not the short term.
Gager, so it's different than when I play a rec league game and we have 10 skaters and I can't move for 3 days after. That's a different situation?
Completely,
Okay.
Dusty.
All
Usually you should be able to go 2 days after, you should be able to go again. But that's why I think it was just they had the opportunity to not have to play too much the last period and stuff like that I don't. It's funny because when I look at it from an NHL standpoint, and we are looking at it from an NHL standpoint, but you look in the American League and minor league teams, like there's no TV timeouts, right? It is way more difficult. Like there is a lot of rest in an NHL game for a professional athlete to get ready to go again. There is a little bit of a difference with a little bit more minutes, but there's a lot of opportunity to rest too in game. I don't think in game a few minutes extra is a big deal, but over the course of this month of December, for sure, if they're up there consistently like that, then we're going to see probably a major drop off by Christmas time.
Just when I mentioned the rec league thing, you can almost sense the fear in our team snap when it's like, we only got 9 skaters tonight. And everybody's like, whoa, we only got 9 skaters. Maybe I can't make it either. Like, it's just like, it's this sense of fear of having to go and play with like 8 guys. So it's a funny vibe. It's a funny vibe when you're looking at 10 skaters or less and the mad scramble for a goalie. I don't know how many times our team snap this year has been like, does anybody know somebody who's played a goalie at any point in their life? It's that bad sometimes. So, okay. Hey, so I want you guys' thoughts on this. Obviously, I'm a JP guy, but he's got 4 points in his last 8 games. Made a couple of nice plays along the way. That backhand pass to Bouchard. Nice setup to Nuge. He's played physical. Made that hit to the blue line that led to the Janmark goal. Hasn't scored, slipped one through the goalie yesterday, kind of hit him and just went out. He's had a couple of point-blank chances over the last little while. Gage, let me start with you here. Is it coming? Like, he hasn't put a puck in the net, but he's contributed to a bunch of goals lately. And, like, is it just a matter of he gets one and it really starts to go? Or is it a matter of everybody else gets healthy and well, it doesn't matter. If he plays on the third line, he plays 11 minutes. He plays on the top line, he plays 11, 12 minutes. So I don't think that's impacted too much, but is there something starting to happen there?
I think more than anything, it's a realization of what he has to do to become successful as an NHL player, and he's seeing what kind of works for him. I haven't seen Jesse been this aggressive in smaller areas and starting to use his body a little bit more. Great plays. I mean, yeah, he hasn't scored, Dusty, but it's not like he's burying it into the crest of the goalies either. Like he's either hitting the post or some guys are making some pretty good saves on him. I know you got to put the puck in the net, but if he was just like missing the net and checking the speed of goalies' sternums, I would have cause for worry. But I think the way he's playing, he's to me, he's playing probably the best he's ever played as an Edmonton Oiler. Just with his physical dominance.
Cass, what do you think? I mean, from a physical dominance standpoint, Gager, he is starting to look like the big bully out there physically. Not get you in the face and all that, but I think he's finally realized, like, hey, I'm a giant, and I can skate over a few of these guys. Cass, are you seeing it, and do you think that eventually helps everything else kind of get going?
Yeah, is he playing the best that he has?
He started with 28 points or 23 points in 28 games last year. That might have been the best stretch.
Yeah,
because the production was there as well. But he looks like a different player now.
Yeah,
but he does look like he's buying in a little bit to the physicality, which is he needs to buy into that. I mean, I loved some of the physicality, loved some of the hits, and that pass was beautiful. Like we called those the Sedin play because the Sedins did that all the time. Beautifully executed. So great little play. I think you could see how happy he was when it actually went in. He was probably the most excited guy in that pile. So I like the physicality. Is he a guy that I want playing more than 14 to 16 minutes a night? The challenge is he's not really a fit for the power play right now, and he's not a penalty killing guy. So all his minutes are going to be 5-on-5.
Oh, Dusty,
you're muted, buddy.
No, sorry, I was muted. I had a sneeze. It'd be tough to get 16 minutes when you don't play special teams. That's why you see him at 12-13, right? Like, which is
really, really tough to get there. So, yeah, I mean, some really good things from him, and the physicality and that part of his game. If he can continue to develop that, I mean, it will go a long way to helping him be not just a better player, but a more regular contributor, because then at least he's doing something, even if he's not, putting pucks in the net. So it's been a good. I think the last couple games for him have been much better. Yesterday was probably the most noticeable he's been out there in terms of having an impact, both points as well as physicality. So I guess some positives. From Pool Party.
I like he's driving people a little bit crazy too. You've seen some retaliation towards him because of the way he's playing, right? So that's
I will say this, like, there's not many other guys in the lineup that do that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not like he's going to give it back to you after, but sometimes that gets under your skin a little bit more. This awkward giant hits you and then just skates away when you're pissed off. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I would have never thought at the beginning of the year that we'd be talking about Puljujarvi, I mean, with the exception of Kane, leading the forwards in hits. I think it's a little bit of a transformation. I don't know what it means in the end, but it's come around a little bit. I want to get to two comments on the Twitter stream here. Top Shelf Elf, which is a pretty funny name. Top Shelf Elf asks, why insulate Holloway so much? The kid looks good. Do you think he's ready for a little bit more? Or do you think they're handling him just fine right now? I'd say it's probably okay right now, but...
Well, yeah, it's okay because you don't have anybody else, and because you have injuries and you have people that are on the lineup. I still think he needs to go down now. I wasn't or wouldn't have been on that train at the start of the season with how he's been utilized. He needs to go down. A little bit of confidence since he scored that goal, which is good. I still want him playing like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 minutes a night though. And that's not going to happen. So I'm not ready to give him a ton more minutes. He's made too many grade A mistakes this year in key times. I don't know if he's ready, guys. I don't know if he's ready.
Do you want him playing 22 minutes eventually or just now?
Look, there's only 4 guys on this team that'll play 22 minutes because they always play 22 minutes. Hyman, Nuge, McDavid, Draisaitl. Yeah. There's no ice time for anybody else. He plays 16 minutes max.
Well, but I'm fine. If he was playing 16 minutes, I'd be fine with him playing 16 minutes. Okay. Then I wouldn't. If he was playing 16 minutes regularly and he was giving you a good 16 minutes, I'd be like, sure, he needs to be here and play those 16 minutes. Great. Do I want him playing 16 minutes in the NHL as opposed to the AHL? Yes, sure, if he's ready. But Dusty, he's not playing 16 minutes. He's playing 7 minutes.
Yeah, he's playing 9 or something.
Yeah, and it's 7 to 9 minutes a night. It's like, for Matt Kassian, that's fine because I'm never going to be a top 6 guy that needs to play high minutes. We want him to be a top 6 guy. Do we not? And if we want him to be a top six guy, he needs to play top 6 minutes, and he needs to develop. That's it. If he's not ready yet, which it looked like at the start of the season, it looked like he was ready. After preseason, looked like he was ready. What we've seen thus far is that he's not ready to play 16, 17, 18 minutes. The team clearly feels he is not. Otherwise, he would be. So send him down when possible. When injuries permit.
If he was ready to handle any sort of top 6, he'd be in there right now. Because they got Matthias Janmark in there right now. Janmark looked good, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's actually a legitimate hole in the top 6 because you're missing a couple guys right now, and he's still not getting in there. Gager, it doesn't seem like that would be the plan anytime soon, right? Like,
well, we don't know what type of player Holloway is going to turn out to be anyways. Like, and right now he's a 7 to 8 minute NHL player because of some of the mistakes that he is making, and his coach doesn't trust him enough to keep him out there for that period of time. So let's I mean, it's great to be in the NHL and learn all this stuff, but man, he's got to develop his game. It's because it's not going to do the Oilers any good having him playing the amount of minutes he's doing right now.
Cass, you remember what your max was for minutes? Like, was there one night when you're like, holy shit, I played 19 minutes tonight? Like,
no, it was like 13, I think, or something like that. I do remember it too. It was in Philadelphia, and for whatever reason, we were having a good game. Wasn't too long before the playoffs, which would have been when I was playing more probably against Montreal. Like that series, I played more than.
Who were you on the line with in that series? Who were you out there with in that series?
Smith and Neal. Yeah, so Zach Smith and Chris Neal. We just bulldozer line.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the line in the game against Philly too. And I remember after the game, because it was like 13 minutes, and I was a guy I was like normally like 7 to 9, if that. Like I was like a 7 to 9 minute guy, and then hitting like 13, kind of. I think it was just over 13 or just under 13, like it was in that range somewhere. I remember getting off the ice and just after the game being like, holy crap. Like I'm exhausted. How do these guys do this every night?
I tried to get to 60 minutes.
Gager's career average was 57.45.
Well, if you look at it, yeah, well, not really. It was more like 6.5. But
yeah. Did you guys see Jack Edwards and his mocking of Patty Maroon? Did you guys watch that video at all?
I didn't see it. No.
Yeah, don't even bother. Don't even waste your time.
Don't even bother.
He was mocking him. He's like, weighed in at 235, but that was probably a few pizzas ago. And like he was just like essentially fat shaming him during the broadcast. And Maroon ended up tweeting after and saying, I'm going to donate in honor of bullying and all this stuff. But Gager, you watched it, right? You saw it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
It was Bush. Just Bush.
Yeah, it was like I think he was trying to be funny, and just said just a dumb thing. Just completely missed. And then the fact that makes him, I mean, it already looked bad what he did because he was trying to find a laugh, but then for Pat Maroon to do what he did just makes him look like such an ass. So hopefully he phones and apologizes too. And the best thing for Edwards to do would be to like donate some money towards the bullying.
Yeah, that's a good point. And my bad.
I'm
going to donate to the charity.
That's you know what? That was really dumb of me to say. So opportunity for Pat Maroon took the high road, knocked it out of the park. Great job. Like the big rig's awesome. One of my favorite players. And good for him.
I just pulled it up and read it. I didn't watch the video because I'm listening to you guys, but I just read through the comments and I think, and I just saw, and I didn't see Bobby's tweet yesterday, but my old teammate Bobby Ryan probably summed it up in that I don't think Patrick Maroon really cares.
Yeah,
he's got a whole bunch of cups,
and millions of dollars playing the game.
Yeah, he's okay. He will be okay. Right. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah. Just
all right. The return of Keep It or Clip It, boys. I was sitting around this morning. I was like, man, let's dive back into this at least once a week. This was always fun. And I've got a few Oilers questions.
Beard?
No, actually, no, I didn't do any about your beard. Are you going to? Is this like up until spring and then you clean shave again? Or are you a beard guy forever?
I don't know. No, definitely not forever. I was going to shave it the other day, and my wife was like, "Why don't you just keep it a little while longer? You could just kind of trim some of the flyaways, and I was like, okay, so.
Yeah, you're a beer guy forever now, buddy. That's just so you know.
Well,
That's, when she doesn't let you do it, yeah, that's not happening. All right, here we go. Keep it or clip it, boys. The Oilers will win 9 of their 15 December games. They've got 15 games in December. The schedule is much lighter. I mean, from an opponent standpoint, it's still a busy schedule when you're playing 15 games. I've got them right here. Let me read them off to you. This is the schedule that they are going to be facing. This starts tonight, obviously, against Minnesota. Habs, Capitals, Coyotes, Wild, Predators, Blues, Ducks, Predators, Stars. That's a good team. Canucks, Flames, Kraken, who look good, and the Jets, who look good. So it's not a murderer's row, that's for sure, but Gager, do they win 9? Keep it or clip it.
Is it like is it an over under like 9.5? Is that what we're doing?
Do they win 9 or more?
9?
Keep it or clip it.
Oh,
Ooh, buddy.
I'm gonna keep it. Okay, I'll keep it.
But barely. Just barely.
Barely. Yeah.
Cash, you intensely looking at that schedule right now?
I'm intensely looking at the schedule, counting, seeing which games I think they'll win.
It's every other night, man. What is it?
There's 2 back-to-backs in there too. Yeah.
Back-to-backs. It's going to be a little grind, but it's not horrible travel though. That's the thing. Like it's not.
There's not an East Coast trip in there or anything like that, right?
No. An afternoon game, 2 of them back-to-backs. I'm gonna say keep it. I think they do. I think they win it. Yeah, I think they do it.
All right, here we go. Question number 2. Sugar cookies are better than gingerbread cookies. Keep it or clip it.
Clip it. Watch your mouth.
Really?
Sugar, what's that? Shortbread? What
Hey, shortbread sugar cookies. The sugar cookies, yeah.
Yeah. No, better than a good gingerbread. No. Yeah.
Gingerbread is the most overrated thing at Christmas time, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, now gingerbread, like the hard crunchy, or are we talking like ginger snaps, like the soft chewy?
Anything involving ginger is overrated at Christmas time.
Yeah. No. Soft chewy, like well prepared. So that means just slightly undercooked gingerbread or ginger snaps are so much better than sugar cookies. So much better. Get a palate, I don't know. I was just trying to come up with something to work. But
you almost said a bad word, Cass. Gager, where do you come out on this?
So it was sugar cookies are better?
Yeah.
Keep it.
Yeah. Exactly. That's my man right there. Sugar cookies are better.
Yeah.
Zach Hyman will finish with 30 goals this year. Keep it or clip it. He's on a 32-goal pace. He's got 9 in 23 games.
Oh, I'm keeping it. He'll do that.
Yep, keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it. He mostly plays in the power play, especially with Evander Kane being gone. Going to be the net front guy for a long time. So, yeah, he gets it.
Bonus question. Nuge also gets 30. Keep it or clip it. He's got 10.
Now, I'm going to keep it. He's with Puljujarvi feeding him sweet passes. He'll have that by Christmas.
I'd clip it on Nuge.
I'm gonna clip it. I think he gets just under. He definitely over 20, probably right around 25. That's what I would think.
Okay, Seattle will make the playoffs. Keep it or clip it.
Oh, good one.
Clip it. Watch them
fall
tank.
off.
Watch them tank.
Yeah, I'll clip it too. They're one of those teams that. Sorry, my dog's biting my feet.
I was gonna say, what are you doing down there, Gator?
That's why it looks like I gotta take a leak. He's biting my freaking
Well, we
feet.
only got one more question anyway. What's his name again?
Boone.
Boone.
Stop it. I'll clip it. Yeah, they're not gonna make. They're gonna fall off.
All right, final one. Hosting a Christmas party is better than going to a Christmas party. Keep it or clip it.
Oh.
Clip it because it's so much more work, and I can just.
I know, but you get to call the shots, right? Like,
but if I don't like what's going on at the party, I can just leave. Even if I'm calling the shots, if I don't like what's going on at the party, it's a lot tougher. I can't just pack up and be like, "See you later." It's like, well, no, it's
you also get to choose the invite list. There could be a bunch of people you don't like at the other party.
Well, but what if your wife's inviting people? I mean, is it a Christmas party of just my like good buddies?
I didn't know you
like
disliked
saying-
everybody that your wife fights.
Yeah.
No, that's not true at all.
You hate your wife's friends.
No,
Oh my
most
God.
of our friends are most of her friends' husbands are my friends, good friends too. Yeah. But
Gager, what do you
I would
think?
rather go to one because I can.
You'd rather go to one?
whenever
I think
want.
I'd rather host. I just don't like going places, I guess. Gager, what about you?
Well, I find there's a comfort level that I get to if there's a soiree Chez Gage, and that comfort level isn't always good with the amount of consumption that happens with me, and I shut the thing down. So it's a very difficult function. So and I hate that. I'm going to say go to other places because I have to be a little bit more responsible. And usually I can get out of there when I can. So that's the reason.
All right. There we go. Before we wrap up, good to have Keep It or Clip It back. That was fun. Cash, you think the Oilers are going to win 7-1 tonight?
5-1.
5-1. Okay. Well, better expectations. Gager, what happens? I think they lose. I'll be the guy. I think they lose tonight. But Gager, where do you come on this?
They're going to score first and lose. That's the problem.
Whoa.
Everyone's going to get
Whoa.
so excited. Yeah.
Then tomorrow on the radio, I'm saying Oilers can't hold an early lead. Same old story, I guess. All right, boys. Well, have a great weekend. That's going to do it for another episode of Two Guys and a Goalie. We'll be back on Monday. Enjoy the games until then, and talk to you guys next week.
Later, boys.